Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. You know, the NFL offseason is always buzzing with rumors, trades, and strategic moves. But sometimes a story comes along that could really shake up the entire landscape of the NFC East. And this one might be just that. The whispers are growing louder about the Washington Commanders making a bold push to bolster their defensive line. And the centerpiece of this potential move is none other than DeForest Buckner, currently with the Indianapolis Colts. That's right, the Commanders are reportedly eyeing Buckner, a dominant interior defensive lineman whose impact on the field is undeniable. And the reason this story is so intriguing isn't just about adding another star to the roster. It's about how this move might reshape the entire division, give Washington a new level of dominance, and potentially set them up for a sustained Super Bowl window. Let's break down the details. So, the Colts, sitting at 6'8" and with a cap space of around $22 million in 2026, are reportedly open to trading Buckner, who is 31 years old, possibly in exchange for a second-round pick. The Colts are in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially on the offensive line, and with their focus shifting to developing younger players and maybe focusing on a future quarterback, they might see a trade for Buckner as a way to accelerate their rebuild. Meanwhile, Washington, sitting at 4'10" but with a clear desire to push forward, could use Buckner's presence to elevate their defense from solid to elite. Buckner's numbers are pretty eye-popping. In 2025, he's projected to dominate with around 5 sacks, which is huge for a defensive tackle. That's the kind of production that can change games, especially in the trenches. He also has around 25 quarterback hits, 9 tackles for loss, and an impressive PFF grade of 89.6, which puts him among the top interior defenders in the league. His run defense rating is 87. 2, and his EPA stop is plus 0.20, indicating he's effective both against the run and the pass. His pressure rate of 16% is also outstanding, especially for a player primarily functioning inside. His career stats are something to admire too. Over his time in the league, Buckner has amassed over 70 sacks, earned 4 Pro Bowl selections, and has been recognized as one of the most consistent, disruptive forces on the defensive line. Still, his career hasn't been without its challenges. He's had some back injuries that limited him to just 14 games in one season, but even then, he managed around 75 sacks per game and faced double teams about 55% of the time. That kind of attention on him opens opportunities for teammates, which makes him even more valuable in a team-oriented defense. Now, let's talk about what Buckner could mean for Washington. The Commanders' current defensive front is decent, but they're looking to take that leap into true elite status. With Buckner joining forces with Jonathan Allen, who's already a key piece of the line, the team's interior would become a nightmare for opposing offenses. Buckner's pressure rate of 16% surpasses Allen's 12%, and adding his ability to generate sacks, projected to go over 8 with the right scheme, could be a game-changer. Imagine a front that commands double teams, collapses the pocket, and forces turnovers. That's exactly what Washington needs to contend at the highest level. The defense, which currently ranks around 20th in the league, giving up 25 points per game, could see a significant upgrade. Buckner's presence would not only help in stopping the run, where the Colts' defense struggles with a minus 18% run-stop rate, but also force opposing quarterbacks into uncomfortable situations. It could lead to a surge in turnovers, especially if the secondary benefits from the increased pressure up front. Historically, defenses that generate interior pressure tend to force more errant throws and create opportunities for turnovers, and Washington's defense has been trending upward in that department. This potential trade also aligns with the broader strategy of the Commanders, who are looking to rebuild and strengthen their trenches as a foundation for future success. Their offensive line has seen some changes, with Tunsil out for now, but adding Buckner would give them a more balanced and dangerous team. Plus, considering the NFC's landscape, the Commanders are positioning themselves as a serious contender. Their Super Bowl odds have already improved from plus 15, 0 to plus 5, 200, And with Buckner in the fold, those odds could drop even further, making them a real dark horse in the NFC. Another aspect to consider is how this move could influence their long-term plans. Buckner, with his experience, leadership, and relentless motor, could be a cornerstone piece for years to come. His presence would elevate the overall defensive culture, much like Ndamukong did during his time with the Dolphins back in 2015. The Commanders are clearly aiming for a transition from rebuilding to contending, and adding a player of Buckner's caliber sends a message. They're serious about competing now. Looking at the bigger picture, the Colts seem to be in a holding pattern, focusing on a rebuild that might take a few more seasons to bear fruit. Meanwhile, Washington is trying to capitalize on this window of opportunity, especially in the NFC East, which has become more competitive than ever. The Eagles and Cowboys are formidable, but with a dominant interior pass rusher like Buckner, the Commanders can challenge those teams head-on. Their defense would become a real strength, especially if they also get some help on the outside and in the secondary. It's worth noting that the Commanders have historically been a team that's built around their defensive line, with players like Jonathan Allen leading the charge. Adding Buckner would be a statement move, blending experience, talent, and leadership that could set the tone for the entire defense. It's about creating a cohesive unit that can suffocate opponents and give their offense more opportunities to score. Of course, nothing is set in stone yet, and there are still questions about the specifics of the trade, such as the exact draft picks involved and how the salary cap will be managed. But the signs point to this being a real possibility, and the impact on the team's identity could be profound. The Commanders have been quietly building something special, and with Buckner joining, they might just accelerate their timeline and position themselves as serious contenders in the NFC. Now, folks, I know these rumors are exciting, but we all know the NFL offseason is full of surprises. What do you think about this potential trade? Would Buckner be the missing piece that propels Washington into a new era of dominance? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in burgundy and gold? This is the kind of move that could define the next few seasons, and I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments below, tell me if you think this is the right move and what it could mean for the team's future. And remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates about the Commanders and their off-season plans. The NFL never stops, and neither do we. Stay tuned, keep supporting your team, and let's see how this story unfolds. The future is bright, and it might just have a new star shining in Washington's defense. We're on the verge of something big, my friends, and I couldn't be more excited to share it with you. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.